So here's a session using a squidgy ball. This one is a 9-inch ball. You can get 7, 8, 9, 10-inch ball. Doesn't really matter which one, as long as it's nice and squidgy. All right, we're going to pop the ball on the floor. Take the hands out to the side, breathing in through the nose. Take the arms all the way to the top and breathing out through the nose or the mouth. Bring the arms all the way down. Let's do a couple more. Good to open up the ribs, open up the diaphragm, open up the arms and the back before you start your practice. Let's do one more here. Nice big inhale through the nose and release. Hands forwards and up. Push the thighs back so you don't go too much into a sway, and release the breath as you release the arms. Breathing in through the nose, up we go. Out through the nose or the mouth as you come down. Try to use the nose as much as possible in your yoga practice so that your breathing is nice and controlled. The breath is warmed and cleaned as it comes in. Last one here. Good. Take the hands to the center for the third arm movement. We're going to breathe in, open up the curtains, push the arms back, lift your chin, and breathe out, bring it back to the center. And let's do one more here as well. So just open up. And then bring the hands to the shoulders and start to roll your shoulders and your elbows round in circles. Again, keeping the thighs pushing back so you've got that nice openness. And back the other way. Okay, then place the hands on the thighs. Slide down, pushing the knees forwards, not towards each other, until you've got that little squat. Have a little wriggle through your hips and your shoulders, and you can come back to this whenever you want to. I'm going to release the feet and the legs now as well before we do some poses. I'm going to push the knees forwards, come back up, place the hands on the waist, take one foot off the floor. You don't have to have the ball there. It can be just pointing to the floor, you can lift it. Toes first, squeeze and stretch. Point and flex. Round and round. Both ways. A little swing of the leg to release the knee. And again, you can put the foot back down on the floor if you want to do the hip circles, or you can lift the leg and get deeper into the hip flexors. Just a couple of times round in each direction. Clickety click, clunkety clunk. And then place the foot on the floor. We'll go straight to the other side. So whenever you're ready, start with the toes first. Squeeze and stretch. Point and flex. Ankle cranks both ways. Knee swings to release your cruciate ligaments. Not too much of a flick, just nice and gentle. And then, as I say, you can keep the foot on the floor if you're starting to lose your balance, or you can take the leg a little bit higher and do maybe 3 or 4 in each direction. So I'm going to incorporate different breathing practices into the ball practice, so a bit of both at the same time. Taking yourself now into a little biggie wiggy wiggle. Pick up the ball and bring it in front of you. You're going to start by just squeezing it, get to know the ball. So give it a squeeze and a wriggle, pull the tummy muscles in, push the thighs back, take a nice long breath in and blow across the ball. Good. Now we're going to pull the ball apart. It could be with one finger, one thumb, or all the fingers. Pull it apart, push the thighs back again so you're not squeezing your bottom. Take a breath in, blow over the ball. Good. All right, we're going to do this in front of us as well. So with the arms stretched out, squeeze the ball to start with. Give it a good squeeze, 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 but make sure you breathe. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Pull the ball apart, Thighs push back, so don't squeeze your bottom at the same time. You've got to take a breath in through the nose, blow the ball, and then release. We're going to do the same behind the back. So start with the squeeze, give it a little wriggle and a little press together with your hands. Open your chest, take a breath in, and blow. Pull the ball apart, squeeze it apart. Now this makes you squeeze your shoulder blades. Maybe you want to lift the chin a little bit or drop the chin down, but take a breath in and out. Release. Last position, we're going to do it above the head. So we're going to squeeze the ball. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Take a breath in and out. Then pull the ball apart. And as you take a breath in and out, to release the ball. Okay, I'm going to use the ball to help us with our sway. So quite often we do a palm tree sway, swaying palm tree. I'm going to squeeze the ball in front, breathe in, lift the ball to the top, breathe out, swaying palm tree, still squeezing, breathe in up to the top and breathing out down to the side, breathe into the top and release. All right, just release your shoulders. We're going to do this with equal part breath to the count of 4. So in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth, counting 4 for each breath, equal part breath. Squeeze, breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and release, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and sway, 2, 3, 4. Breathe into the top, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out to the side, 2, 3, 4. Breathe into the top, 2, 3, 4, and release. Try now squeezing the ball apart. Very different on your shoulders. Pull it apart, push the thighs back, and when you're ready, breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Sway, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, and 4. Keep your shoulders above. We're going to put the ball now between the thighs. So squeeze it between the sort of mid to upper thighs if you can. And take the feet fairly close together. And it does feel a bit weird to squeeze the ball. If you don't have a ball, you could squeeze a yoga block. That works too. But it's a little bit narrower. So the ball's quite nice. Starts to work the hip muscles. So really, really squeeze. Make sure your feet are completely parallel. And then see if you can push the ball forwards. I find using the hands helps. And then push the ball back. So you're rolling the inner thighs to push the ball forwards and push the ball back. It does look a bit weird. So breathing in, push the ball forwards, and breathing out, push the ball back. Now notice when you breathe in and push the ball forwards, it tightens up your buttocks and your lower back. So that's a bad thing, really. When we're going to push it back and it opens up the lower back, opens up the buttocks. And we're going to remember the impression of the ball pushing back in some of the poses that we do today. But in the meantime, let's see if we can do the squat. So knees stay fairly parallel to each other, feet are parallel. Take your arms forwards, breathe in, lift up the vase, put it on top shelf, and release the arms wide. Let's do that again. Breathe in, squeeze the ball, lift up, and release. Last one. Squat, breathe in, squeeze the ball, lift, and release. Good. Take the ball away. Squeeze the ball back into Utkatasana. Stretch the ball in front of you. You're going to do the same thing, but lifting up the ball instead of an imaginary vase. Breathing in, squeeze the ball. Breathing out, bring the arms down in front of you. Breathing in, get the ball down to the floor, lift it up to the sky, and down in front of you. Breathing in, lift it up. And down. Last one. Breathing in, lift. And lower. Good. Give the shoulders a roll. Okay, triangle pose, Trikonasana. So we can use the ball in various poses. We're going to start with nice wide stance, pushing the heels away as much as the little toes. So you've got a good base to start with. Roll into the outside of the feet. Turn your leading foot all the way out, push the other heel away slightly, straighten the legs, squeeze the ball and make sure everything is in line with the long edge of the mat. So give it a good squeeze, shoulders down, knees pulled up, tummy in. Good. Now take the ball to the back hand and stretch out the leading hand. Stretch, place, open into Trikonasana. You can leave the ball where it is, or we're going to take it in circles. So just hold it loosely, take it in a nice big circle and then try and touch the ceiling with it. And then breathe out. Breathing in, lift it up. Breathing out. Breathing in, stretch up. Breathing out. Let's go around the other way. Breathing in, stretch it up and down. You can watch the ball as well if you want to, so that you get a little bit of neck rotation at the same time. And then place the ball on the back of the waist again. Open up your Trikonasana. Then take the ball up to the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling and imagine the ball's pulling you up. Up you come. And we're going to stay with the legs in this position, but take the ball down and the arm up. So now we're going to slide the ball down the back leg and have a look at it and maybe even reach it a little bit further away as if you're trying to put it on the back of your mat now, on the short edge of your mat. So stretch and breathe. And another breath in. And out. Come back to center, turn the feet. Turn the feet the other way, leading leg, back heel, straight leg, squeeze the ball. Check your elbows are in line with the long edge of the mat. Take the ball to the back, leading arm, stretch, place, open, and then 3 times each way with the ball, with a nice big inhale as the ball tries to reach the ceiling. And changing direction when you're ready. So working the shoulder, working the muscles between the ribs. When you finish, just let the ball rest on the back waist. And then we're going to take it up, try and touch the ceiling. Ball's going to pull you up, then pop it to the back leg, lift up the top arm, backwards triangle, roll the ball down, and then see if you can just direct it towards the back short edge of your mat as you take a couple of breaths. Good, and then coming back up, swing the feet back towards each other, have a little heel toe, and at the last minute, pop the ball between the ankles. Give it a good squeeze there. Now this might make your buttock squeeze again, so we need to make sure we've got the right action. We don't want the heels squeezing the ball because that tightens your buttocks, just have a go. We want the ball to be really squeezed between the arches and maybe the sort of balls of the feet. Have a go there, and then it opens up here. All right, but not too pigeon-toed because we want to be able to lift the toes. So palms face forwards, push them back, lift the toes off the floor, and release. Bring the hands forwards, and as you do, see if you can lift the heels, squeezing the ball between the arches of the feet, and then down. I'm going to take this nice and slowly with a 5-7 breath. Breathe in, lift the toes, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, we're going to do one more. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Squeeze. And breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. So that was 2 different lengths of breaths there, equal length breaths. So the first one was 5, 5, the second one was 7, 7. All right, so we're going to take the ball away again now. Just pop it in front of you for a minute and then take your hands to your ribs. So more about the breathing. We're going to do some side ribs breathing. So the hands are not down here on the waist or down on the pelvis. They're pretty high, as high as you can reach, really. Find the real hardness of the ribs. Drop your shoulders in your elbows. Breathe into the side ribs through your nose. Expand them. Breathe out through the mouth or the nose as they subside. Now remember to keep the exhale slightly longer than the inhale so you don't get dizzy with that extra oxygen. So maybe as you take the next breath in, count to 5. And as you breathe out, count to 7. One more, 5 in, 7 out, in equal breath, longer exhales. Good. Okay, lots of different types of breathing practice incorporated here. So if you don't get them all, that's fine. I'm now going to do box breath. Box breath is the one where if you imagine a square, you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and pause for 4. I'm going to use the ball, which turns it more into a circle. We're going to do this with the ball, okay? We're going to change hands, take it round, and you can change direction as well if you want to. So it's going to be breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, pause for 4. When you're ready, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. Do 2 more on your own. And then have a squeeze of the ball between the knees and a little piggy wiggy wiggle. So that was a perfect opportunity to do ujjayi breathing. So that's the in and out through the noise of the back of the throat. So using the nose only and a constriction in the throat if you are happy with ujjayi. Let's take some cat curls. So I've got my fingers facing inwards, the thumbs out. I'm going to squeeze the ball even tighter and do a nice cheeky cat looking forwards and up. Round and squeeze and look towards the ball. Breathing in, look forwards and up. Breathing out, round and squeeze. One more time. Opens the chest, opens the breathing, and the squeeze rounds and pulls the diaphragm up, expels the air. Come to a neutral, so you've got a nice flat back, and then push the knees forwards to come up and release the ball. Have a little roll of the shoulders. We're going to take a warrior 2 pose now. So taking the feet wider than you did for Trikonasana, triangle. This is a Virabhadrasana 2. Turn the leading leg. Push the other heel away. That opens up the buttocks. Straighten the legs to start with. Bring the ball into the chest. Squeeze it. Bend the knee. Adjust so that the knee is over the ankle. The back leg is nice and straight, rolling into the outside. You're going to feel a nice stretch on the inner thigh, strength on this bent thigh. Squeeze the ball. Take a breath in and blow across the ball. I'm going to take 5, 7 breaths. Arms out wide. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's bring the ball back to the middle. Squeeze it, straighten the leg, turn it. Turn the other foot all the way out. Turn the leg. Find your position. Check everything is in the center, sinking down, not leaning over. Take the ball in the leading hand. And on your next inhale, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Pause there. Straighten the leg, turn the foot, bring the ball back. Heel toe. Have a little jump back to the center and wiggle if you want to. And then give the ball a hug. Right up high, so it's not in the belly. I don't want to compress the belly muscles because I want the diaphragm to be working, and the diaphragm's down here. I'm going to press it into the upper chest to keep the chest still while I breathe into the belly and do a little funky chicken. So draw your chin across the ball and back, across the ball and back. Okay, push your thighs back. And do a couple of funky chickens. So release the neck muscles and the upper back, keeping the chest still, but through the shoulders as well. And then release. Okay. A very small warrior 1 into warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 1 to Virabhadrasana 3. I'm just going to use the width of my mat here. I'm going to take 1 foot forwards and 1 foot back. Both feet are still on the mat. There's separation of the feet so that you've got separation in the hips, of course, so you don't have crossover or one in front of the other. You've got the ball, just lightly hold it here by your shoulder, like a shot put. You're going to have the arm down by the side. You're going to bend the front knee slightly, breathe in, lean back, and then pursed lips breath. Breathe in. One more, breathe in. Hold it there. Stretch the back arm back. Relax your shoulders. Slide the back foot halfway towards the front one. Maybe it will come off the floor. I'm going to take it into warrior 3 for those who would like to. So you can stay here, keep breathing, or you can bring the back hand to hold the ball as well. Give the ball a little squeeze or a pull apart, whichever you prefer. Hinge a little bit further. Look down towards the floor between your arms. Carry on breathing. Breathing in through the nose and pursed lips breath out. Pursed lips breath is for exertion. You hear it when people play tennis and maybe cold water swimming. So it's in through the nose, out through the mouth when you're putting in a little bit of effort in. Now bring yourself up and put the ball back down. The foot back down and the ball back down. Okay, let's try the other side. Leave that foot at the front, take the other one back. Soften the back front knee. Back leg is straight, more or less. Okay, shot put first. Breathe in through the nose. Pursed lips breath out. Reach right forwards. Hold this one forwards. So we're just practicing all the breathing techniques here. A little soft front knee. And you can stay there. Slide the back foot forwards a little bit. Maybe take it off the floor. And you've got your balance. And you can put the back foot whenever you want to. Or you can place 2 hands. Squeeze the ball, hinge down, place the head between the arms if you can. Lift your back leg, pelvis is nice and level, back foot is flexed, and you're breathing. Breathe in and out. And again, breathe in and out. And then whenever you're ready, lift up the ball and swing yourself back to Tadasana. Nice, strong, steady, standing pose. Take a few breaths. Notice how your breathing gets a little bit faster when you put some effort in. Mary Poppins pose. This is your umbrella. Reach it up, touch the sky, and balance. Take a breath into those bottom ribs. And out. Change sides. Stretch up towards the sky. Lift the other leg. Take a breath in. And out. And a little piggy wiggle. And we're going to come down to all fours. So kneeling now. Take the heavy for your knees that you would like. I'm just going to adjust the screen. So on all fours, cat position. Put the ball to one side for a moment and have a little wriggle around. And then if you want more with the ball, pop the ball between the thighs again, towards the upper part of the thighs, and give it a good squeeze, bringing the knees quite close together to do that. Shoulders away from the ears, breathe in, cheeky cat, breathing out, scaredy cat, round, look at the ball, squeeze it. Breathing in, look forwards and up, breathing out, round, look at the ball, squeeze, keep going. So as you do the rounded back and you squeeze the ball, you're working through the pelvic floor and the core strength muscles to strengthen the lower back as well. Pulls the diaphragm up into the lungs to expel the air. Come to neutral. Shoulders away from the ears. Look to one side, maybe behind you, being a little curious cat for a moment. Have a rock forwards and back. Breathe in, come to center. Breathe out the other side and rock forwards and back. Come back to center. Release the ball. Just pop it to one side while we do a dog pose, and you'll see why. So we're going to tuck the toes under, hover the knees for a moment, shoulders away from the ears. If you're not doing dog pose today, you can just stay in cat, stretch the legs out one at a time. Otherwise, from this hover, take your head between your arms, lift up, and then stretch your legs one at a time. And so we haven't got the ball between the thighs here, because with this padding of the feet, it would just fly off somewhere. But I am going to put the ball between the thighs for the second go and keep the legs fairly symmetrical. So take one more breath in and out. You can sigh the breath away here. Come down onto your knees, and if you'd like to try it with the ball, pop the ball between the thighs now. Give it a good squeeze. Put the toes under. Release your hands if you need to. Hover. Squeeze the ball, hover the knees, only for as long as it's appropriate for you. A real strengthener through the core. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, head between the arms, lift up, and then bring the heels equally down towards the floor. You're going to stay here and take a couple of breaths, rolling the shoulders out with the thighs in. So remember when we were standing and we pushed the ball forwards and back. You can try that now because you've got more movement in the ankles. Push the ball towards your face by rolling the thighs out, and push the ball back by rolling the thighs in. And you will notice that the ankles move very slightly. Now, where we should be in a dog pose is with the ball pushing backwards. So the thighs rolling in, the ball pushes back. The shoulders roll outwards, and you take a nice long breath in and out. And then come back down, take the ball away, and rest in your favorite child's pose or dolphin pose for a moment, and rest, a forward bend. So some nice deep breaths, some long breaths here. You can use a noisy breath too if you want to. So we've learned lion breath with the tongue sticking out. We've learned hummingbee breath where you buzz or hum inside the mouth. We've done ha breath where you the breath out. All of these you can do here in the child's pose. They all stimulate the breathing and the vagus nerve, which is one of our major nerves through the body. You can also of course, that's the traditional yoga noise. So coming up now into a seated position, grab a block if you have one, so that you've got something to sit on. I'm going to have Dandasana, seated staff pose, sitting on a block and with the ball. Okay, I'm just going to let the ball rest for a moment while I put the fingertips on the floor, pull the toes towards you, so you have your good, strong Dandasana position. Thighs are pulled up, tummy's in, up nice and tall. Take the hands forwards, breathe in, lift them up, and breathing out, bring them down. If you need to put the hands back down again to keep you high, keep the length and straight back, then do. Otherwise, one more time, breathing in and breathing out. When I'm doing it with the ball, of course, notice my feet are pulling strongly towards me, sitting up straight, and if you can't, put your hands on the floor. Sitting on the front of the block helps, okay? Squeeze the ball, breathe in and breathe out. And do a few more. Maybe try one, pulling the ball apart. Let's see what the difference is. You could do a couple. Good. And take the ball behind you. Squeeze and open the chest by pulling the ball apart. Take a breath in and a breath out. I'm going to come and lie down now. Use the ball for some of the lying down positions. So on your back in a semi-supine position, which is knees bent, feet to the floor. Have the ball handy, and quite often for belly breath, we place the fingers on the belly. So this is just a suggestion. Take the ball on the belly. Keep the elbows and arms completely relaxed on the floor so there's no tension. Don't pull the ball down. Just touch it on the sides with your fingertips. As you breathe in, push the ball up with your belly towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, the ball falls. Make sure those exhales are at least as equal in length to the inhale or longer. And with those longer exhales, the back settles into the floor. I'm going to do pelvic tilts now, and you can do it with the ball between your thighs if you'd like to, or just get rid of the ball now. I'm going to squeeze the ball between the mid-thighs, taking the feet and the knees as close together as I can, giving that ball a squeeze. You can put the hands on the pelvis right by the legs if you want to, so you can feel the movement. Breathing in, expand the belly and press the tailbone down so you get an arch under your lower back if that's comfortable. With the breath out, you pull the tummy to the spine so the tailbone curls away from the floor but doesn't lift, and you get that flat back position. Breathing in and out. Squeezing the ball more on the exhale than the inhale. So now try, if you are doing a really good exhale and a back flattening to the floor and you're squeezing the ball, try lifting the toes as well and then putting them down for the inhale. And one more. And then neutral spine, neutral pelvis. I'm going to keep the ball there as I take the arms up and over. So arms down by the sides. I'm going to do this with a 5-7 breath. So breathing in, lift the arms up and over for about 5. I'm going to pause there, introduce a little pause like the box breath, and then bring down for the count of 7 all the way to the floor and have another little pause at the bottom. These pauses are called comebackers. Let's go again. Lift and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause, 2, 3, come down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and pause, 2, 3. Do another one on your own. And just rest when you come down. We're going to take a bridge pose. So you might want to walk your feet a little bit closer to your bottom, squeeze the ball or take the ball away. Do the first one with the hands on the floor so you can see what it feels like. Flatten the back to the floor in that pelvic tilt. And then now the tailbone is going to come off the floor and lift the hips towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin right into your throat so that the back of the neck is long, shoulders tucked under so you can lift the chest and the hips. So as a practice run, take a breath in, and with the breath out, down you come. So you can just lift the hips, 5-7, or I'm going to do it with hips and arms. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pause, 2, 3. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and pause, 2, 3. Try a couple on your own. And at the end of your next one, let everything land on the floor and take the ball away so that the thighs are no longer squeezing and thinking. You could just let the knees touch slightly and sway them from side to side. Now you might want to take the ball down a little bit for this bit, which is C first. I'm going to lift the hips up and I'm going to put the ball now underneath the tailbone. I'm quite comfortable with it in the position it was already in, or the load up that it was already in. So under the tailbone, it's not under the waist or under the kidneys, it's under the bottom, the buttocks bottom. Okay, so take your feet a little bit closer together and just see how wobbly that is. Take the arms out to the side for ballast, and they can be anywhere out to the side that works for you. You can just keep the feet on the floor if you like and wriggle around to work the pelvic floor and the lower back and the belly muscles. Or bring one knee to the chest, float it up to the sky, bend it again, and put the foot on the floor. Second side, bend the knee to the chest, float the foot to the ceiling, bend the knee, bring the foot to the floor. One more on each leg. And you can keep going with that if that's comfortable, or try bringing both knees to the chest. You'll see how wobbly that is, but the ball should push back towards the far edge of the mat rather than into your waist, and it just supports you with a slight wobble, which is good because that works all those muscles in the lower part of the body. You can just stay there with knees in, or if you want to float the legs up, float them up, and you're in Viparita Karani, which is commonly called legs up the wall pose. It refreshes the feet and the legs, brings an extra flow of blood to the heart and the throat, the thyroid, and to the face and to the brain. But if you feel any discomfort in your eyes, you get a headache or any kind of throbbing, bend those knees again. If you're comfortable up there, you might want to just play with the feet. You can see them, so you could do some point and flex and some rotations. You could take the feet a little bit wider, maybe scissor legs. There's all sorts of things you can do up there, or you can just rest. Traditionally, it's a resting pose in yoga. So then bring the feet together if you've been playing with them and allow yourself to just rest. If you need to come down, then you bend the knees and bring the feet to the floor one at a time. Otherwise, let's stay here for another couple of long breaths. And if you're still up now, bend the knees, pause for a moment. If you're in any way concerned about your back health, take one foot to the floor at a time. Otherwise, start to very slowly roll the bottom over the ball. Take the feet slowly to the floor. It does feel like a long way away. When you get there, just pause. And when we take the ball away, you're going to really savor the space between where your bottom is now and where the floor is. So lift your bottom slightly, take the ball away, and take it slowly, slowly, slowly down. When you get there, you might want to just sway the knees again. I'm just going to do one more thing with the ball, and that's to place it behind the neck. So lifting the head off the floor, put the ball in the neck, so it's not behind the back of the head so much as in the neck. And then you can feel, let your head go heavy and it's completely supported. This also works the neck muscles, the jaw muscles. Have a little wriggle of your jaw and maybe stick out your tongue, play with the tongue. If you feel comfortable, you could turn your head very slightly one way, back to center, and the other way. Take a few releasing, sighing breaths. Gently lift the head away from the ball, take the ball out, pop it to the side now, let your head go slowly to the floor. Bring the knees to the chest, either one at a time or both together. Hands on knees, push your knees in circles now, round and round. If you want to lift your head to look at your knees, you can do that. If you like to do the dead beetle position, you can take the arms on the inside of the knees, hold the outside of the feet, rock from side to side. A gentle happy baby would be just lifting the feet to expose the soles of the feet to the ceiling and bringing the knees towards the armpits. Any of these positions to help you release your back. And then eventually you can take a full body stretch or a banana stretch on the floor. That's a C shape and full length body. And climb up the rope, reach through the heels and stretch the legs. And when you're ready, take your favorite relaxation position, which might be the sleepy starfish, Shavasana position, or any other that you know you like at the end of your practice. Take a nice long breath in, sigh the breath away. Allow your arms to relax. The fingers lightly curled, And the arms supported by the floor, not too close to the body. Give yourself lots of space. The legs are at least as wide as the hips, if not wider. Have a wriggle of the legs and the feet and stretch, and then let the feet flop outwards. Soften the belly and the chest, and let the shoulders be supported. Your head is completely supported by the floor, so your neck and your throat can release. Your jaw releases, tongue soft in the lower palate. Lift your eyebrows and then relax them. Notice only the rise and fall of your breath. I'm going to gently guide you out of your relaxation, or you can stay there if you prefer. Start by taking a slightly deeper breath and a wriggle of the nose. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, bend your arms and bend your legs. I'm going to take a roll over to the side. And then when you're ready, up to seated. Take a comfortable seated position, wherever that might be for you. And take the hands together. Let's take some of those breaths with the arms once more. So breathing in, reach up to the sun. Breathing out, take the hands down to touch the earth. Fingers placed upwards, breathe in, opening the ribs, and bring the hands down to the center. Open up the curtains, nice big smile, and finish with the hands in the middle. Namaste. Thank you very much. There's lots more you can do with this ball, all sorts of different yoga positions. So have a play, and we'll use it again sometime soon. Bye.